Hey y'all, Tom, ND3N here, and thanks for dropping in for a Ham Shack chat. One of the most popular digital modes is FT8, which is one of the several modes in the WSJT-x suite. The Yaesu FT-891 is an all-mode HF plus 50 MHz radio in a very small but well-built package. This video will present the step-by-step processes for putting this rig on the air with the help of a SignaLink external sound card in the FT8 mode. We're going to start by going to our menu. We do that by pressing and holding the F key. That brings up the menu. The first item we want to look at is item number 102, which is your AGC MID Delay. The AGCs that you see displayed here are all default levels, and it's recommended that you keep them on the default levels. AGC 102 is 700 milliseconds. Now we're going to scroll down to item 506, which is your CAT rate. Your CAT rate is the data rate that is going out of your USB over to your computer, and you need to jot this number down. I have mine set at 9600 bits per second. You can set it at any of the selections that it has. CAT TOT, or timeout timer, defaults to 10 milliseconds. You need to raise that to at least 100 milliseconds. You want your CAT RTS, which is item 508, disabled. Next, we're going to go down to 712, where you're going to turn your PC keying off. Next is 801, where you want to turn your PC keying off. 803, data mode, you want to set to others.
Pull yourself together, man.
And 803, others display, you want to set to 1500 Hertz. Other shift, you want to set to 1500 Hertz, and that's 804. 809, you want to set your data in select to rear. 810, you want to set your data PTT select to DAKY. And 812, you want to set your data BFO to USB. Finally, on the menus, you want to go all the way up to 1603 and set your HF power to 50 watts or less. FT8 works perfectly fine with 50 watts, and a lot of people will take it down to 25 or even down to QRP levels. Now we're going to return to the main screen by pressing the F key. And here we're going to change our mode. Right now it's in USB. Press and hold the band button on top, then use the main tuning knob to bring you down to the data. And because we set our data BFO to upper sideband, that's what's showing. Now we're going to go to our function setting. You do that by a single press on the function key. And we're going to start at function 1. TNR for tuner is where you would set that. Vox is off. Processing is off. Monitor, select that and put it on the comfort level that you want. Split should be off. IPO, which is intercept point optimization, should be off. ATT is off. Narrow is off. Noise blanker is off. Shift is off. On width, you want to make sure that you are on the full 3000 Hertz. Notch is off. And now we go to our next set of functions, which is function 2. You get there by pressing the F key again. That changes you there. Selecting meter lets you pick what your meter will be. I'm going to set this one to ALC. I've also put the meter down on the C button, and I'm going to change my B button down here to scope. You do that by putting the caret on what you want, then pressing and holding until that shows up. Get back into our functions. AGC should be set to auto. Digital noise reduction, DNR, is off. DNF is off. Contour is off. MOX is off. TXW is off. MEQ is off. And QMP is off. On our SignaLink, you want to set the TX mid-range, the RX mid-range, and your delay fully counterclockwise. And finally, we're going to press and hold the function key to take us back to the main screen. If you like what you've seen so far, please pop that thumbs up icon and give me a like.
It's a big thumbs up.
By the way, the next video will show you how to connect your FT-891 with Ham Radio Deluxe, where I'll introduce you to both CW and PSK on HRD. With all WSJT-x modes, including FT8, timing is critical. So you need to make sure that your computer time is synced up. What you want to do is come down here to where your time is, right click on that, and go to Adjust Date and Time. Now if this is the first time you're doing this, come down here to Additional Clocks. That'll pop up this window, and here you want to select Internet Time and change settings. At this point, you can see that you've got synchronized with an internet time server. You've chosen timenist.gov. You can also choose timewindows.com, but I like the .gov one, and click on Update Now. Now this will either work or it won't. It did work. If it pops up an error here, just continue to do the Update Now. But you can see I'm now synchronized. I'm going to say OK and OK. If you've done that process before, there's a lot quicker way. When you first pop up this window, which you did by right-clicking down here, just click on right here, Additional Settings, Sync Now, and you can see it's going to sync it with timenist.gov. You get a check mark. Your time is now synced. The next thing that you want to do is pop up your device manager. Come down here to Ports, COM, and LPT. You can see that I have these two, the Enhanced COM port and the Standard COM port. Your COM ports will probably be different. Mine are the Enhanced on COM 9 and the Standard on COM port 8. Make a note of that. Now we're going to double click on the Enhanced one and go to Port Settings, and you'll see it's set at 9600 with 2 data bits, 2 stop bits, and no parity or flow control. Again, make a note of that. The 9600 is something that you set back in the menu items, and you don't have to use 9600. If you used, say, 2400 back there, or 48, or even 128,000, you can use any of those. I like to use 9600 because it's a common value and something that I use on a lot of my other radios. You got that information jotted down, and I'm going to go OK. Now we are just going to verify that the Standard COM port, which for me is COM 8, is set up the same way. Not critical, but they're both virtual COM ports, so they should be set up the same, and here you can see they are. I went to the website that I had originally used to download all my software and found, to my dismay, that none of the links worked. I don't know what's going on, but that's the Princeton site, and so I spent a little time and I found this site, and there is a link down in the video description for downloading. And I'm going to download this top one, which matches my computer, Win64 version 2.5.4. So we click on that, and you can see I'm downloading. And so now we're going to click on this to run the executable to install it. So now that we have the latest software, I'm going to open up WSJT-x. This is my shortcut to that. We'll bring that up. So I'm now running WSJT-x. The best salesmen know that their most potent weapon is word-of-mouth advertising. While I'm not a salesman, I'd like to ask you to please share.
I found something!
this video with your friends and compatriots in the ham radio community, especially on social media such as Facebook, Instagram, Parler, and all the others. The first thing that we're going to want to do is come up here to our file, go into our settings. And in our settings, you want to be on the General tab. You want to put your call sign and grid here. You can leave your IARU region to all. And I like to do with the full call in T×3. Under your display, the most important thing to me is to have this block checked. Show DXCC grid and worked before status. For behavior, the most important one is calling CQ forces call first. Outside of this, everything else you can set up the way you want to. Now we go to our radio tab. I have selected from the pull-down menu my FT891. If you recall, COM9 was my enhanced port, and the baud rate is 9600 with an 8 and 2 and no handshakes. For push to talk, you want to set that on CAT. Don't worry about the COM port. Now you can test your CAT by clicking on this, and it should turn green. That means it's good. Now we can come over here and check our push to talk, and you'll see that the radio actually is transmitting. Next, we want to go to our audio tab and make sure that our USB audio codec is showing up, and there's a pull down menu if it's not. Again, on the output side, USB audio codec, and if it's not, use the pull down. The final thing I want to show you on the settings is your colors, and you'll notice that up here I am color coordinated. And when we get to the main page over here, I'll show you how that works. But I've selected those items that I want. Yes, I'm always looking for new DXCCs. New grids are fun, new call. But I'm going to discombobulate the new grid. And now we can go OK and get out. Now that we've got our settings going and everything is fine here, I want to do a couple contacts. The first one, I will be calling a specific station. The next one, I'll be calling CQ. And I'm going to go ahead and change to 20 meters. And over here on the rig, you'll see that I have it set up to monitor ALC. And I'll show you how to work that when we get to actually checking our ALC. I'm going to bring up my functions with a single push on the function key. Another push to take me to function 2, and you'll see my meter is right there. Your meter can change. Right now I have it set to ALC. I'll bring it up, and you can see I can use the multifunction knob to change it to whatever I want. But we'll leave it on ALC for now. I have also placed my meter down here. And the way you do that is you press and hold the button that you want it to go on. So I have just put that there, and when I push this button, I can change my meter. And just let it go, and see, all I have to do is change my multifunction knob, and it'll take me to where I want to be. But again, we want to be in ALC. I am now going to double click on K9WZB, and I am calling him. You see my yellow over there, right over here is my calling him. And the next go around, we'll set our ALC. By the way, you want this power slide here to be about 2 notches down. Okay, he's coming back to me. He gave me a -1. And if you look at my ALC, I can use my TX here and change my ALC. You want it between 1/3 and 1/2. Or I could change my ALC here. So you see it changing up and down. So again, between 1/3 and 1/2. I'm now passing my 73s. I'm going to click on my log entry. And now let me find an open space to call CQ. I've got my ALC set, and it looks like way up here at about 2200, and you can adjust your frequency here, but I'm on 2200, and I've already selected my CQ message to go out next, and I'm going to enable my TX. So we'll see if anybody comes back to me. Yep, somebody's coming right back to me now. Okay, VE7 LGP is coming back to me. I'm sending him a -8. Now I'm waiting for his reply. And my logger page comes up. All of this is stuff you can save. I'm going to go OK. I'm going to show you some stuff with the log here in a second, but you can see that I've sent my 73. My enabled TX has gone off. So you have to re-enable the TX. That just ensures that you're not going to sit there and, you know, walk out, have dinner, make 100 contacts. So now I'm calling KD3 FB. I am complete. So now I want you to come up here to your File tab and come down here to Open Log Directory. And you'll see my WSJT-x log, which is an ADI file, is right here. I have put a shortcut to this on my desktop. I'm bringing up my HRD logger, and you can see that I've got some folks. By the way, I picked up China this morning when I was playing, and that was a new DXCC for me. So you want to come up here to Logbook, click that, go to File, go to Import, and go to ADI. And yes, I'm using HRD Logbook. However, any computerized logger will have the ability to bring in an ADI file. So follow whatever you're using to do that. But here I came, and I have, this is on my desktop in a file called ham radio, in one called ADIs, and if you look, there it is, my shortcut. So I'm going to just click that, and I'm going to open it, and it's going to go through its process, and I'm waiting for it to tell me that it's ready to save to the database. Okay. I'm saving it to the database, and when this cancel goes to finish, down here you'll see here's the 3 stations that I just worked. I hope this video was everything and more than you were expecting, and hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed putting it all together.
Why not?
To this channel, and if you want to know when my other videos are put up, ring that notification bell. FT8 is a great way to make a lot of contacts around the world in a relatively short period of time. The FT891 is a compact, inexpensive, but well-built little radio. Together, they make a great tool for filling out your Worked All States or DXCC awards. You can also add in working parks on the air, summits on the air, islands on the air, anything on the air, as well as contests like Field Day. 73 until the next Hey Y'all, always at your service. I'm Tom, ND3N, and I am out.